All right, Wednesday, September 15th. I'm Tom Novak. This is your Bring Me the News and Novak Weather Update brought to you by All Energy Solar. Thank you, All Energy, for sponsoring this, what's going to be active, a 7 day period here, and it starts potentially tomorrow morning, but I'm really concerned about tomorrow evening and into the overnight hours, and then again early next week. We'll get into that here in just a little bit. Here's your visible satellite loop. And yeah, we've got some clouds already developing and moving into western Minnesota. There's actually even some showers developing up in eastern North Dakota. I think that's going to be the start now of this active pattern that is going to hamper us here for the next 7 days, although the weekend actually looks dry. So that's the good news. Now I'm focusing on tomorrow evening. This is at about 7 p.m. tomorrow, and this is what we call a jet streak. Here are strong winds now at 20 to 30,000 feet in our atmosphere that are running from southwest to northeast across North Dakota, northern Minnesota, and usually on the right rear quad or right rear base of a jet streak is where you get significant lift in our atmosphere, and I'm worried that that's going to happen tomorrow evening. You combine that with the low level winds across southern Minnesota and eastern Minnesota, and now you're starting to get the idea. We've got winds coming up from the south at 5,000 feet, and then from the west and north or west and southwest at 20,000 feet. You're getting a twisting of winds in the atmosphere, and as you know, that's a pretty good recipe for organized showers and thunderstorms, and I think that's what we're going to be dealing with as we go through the evening and overnight hours now on Thursday. All right, here is your future satellite loop. Call this the Future Infrared Satellite Loop now from the NAM Computer Model Guidance. And there are the clouds this afternoon over western Minnesota. Now watch what happens. Not much going on tonight. Maybe a few showers and storms up in northern Minnesota late tonight and into tomorrow morning. But I am also keeping an eye on portions of southern and central Minnesota right near the Twin Cities metro tomorrow morning. This is at about sunrise tomorrow morning. We could have some showers and storms around scattered at that time period. We quiet down during the late morning and afternoon hours, and then look at the storms. Focus on the storms up here in northern Minnesota now, late tomorrow afternoon, and watch how they explode over central and eastern Minnesota as we go through the evening hours tomorrow. This looks to be what will eventually be a broken and eventually become a solid line of thunderstorms across southern and central and eastern Minnesota and northwestern Wisconsin. And yes, that could mean the potential for severe weather across much of our region. In fact, I've got a good chunk of Minnesota and portions of northwestern Wisconsin earmarked for some showers and storms, and some of them potentially strong or severe, basically from about the Duluth and Bemidji areas in northern Minnesota on south and west through the Twin Cities, St. Cloud, and then continuing southwest into the Sioux Falls area as big time storms develop, especially after 6 p.m. tomorrow across central and portions of southern Minnesota. And I'm also worried about the potential for heavy rains. Look at this. As we get some training thunderstorms that move southwest to northeast across the heart of Minnesota, we could get more significant heavy rains across the state, especially across the heart of Minnesota in the St. Cloud, Twin Cities, Duluth areas on northeast into extreme northwestern Wisconsin. Some totals may be in excess of 2 to 3 inches when it's all said and done. So yeah, a lot going on, especially tomorrow. And that active weather pattern is going to continue into next week. Here's the jet stream, the river of air at 30,000 feet. And here's our system now. You can see the buckle in the jet stream for later tomorrow and into Friday morning. Now that system moves off to the east, and then a big time warm up is expected this weekend. By Sunday, look at how the jet stream surges well north into Canada. This is going to leave much of the country east of the Rocky Mountains in a real warm weather pattern with temperatures a good 10 to 20 plus degrees above the average over much of the country. And then big changes are in store for the second half of next week as a closed upper level low pressure system sits over the upper Midwest. And yeah, you guessed it. That's going to mean some cloudy, cool, damp conditions as we get into later next week. That's a long ways away, but just something to look out for. Temperatures this afternoon were in the 70s across Minnesota. Just a beautiful day. Lows tonight, not as cool as last night. We'll drop into the 60s over much of Minnesota, maybe upper 50s in southeastern Minnesota. And then look at what happens tomorrow. Our highs, we surge into the 80s over much of southern and western Minnesota. You can kind of tell where that front is going to be located late tomorrow afternoon, basically from about Fargo, Moorhead on northeast to International Falls. And it's going to be along and ahead of that front is where the severe storms and strong storms are going to develop. Here's your extended outlook. There it is, a warm day tomorrow for September standards. We cool off some on Friday, and then temperatures well above average from Sunday through Tuesday of next week. And don't forget, the bottom drops out after about Wednesday of next week as we really cool off. In between, thunderstorms. I'm thinking Tuesday into Wednesday, and then, of course, like I mentioned, tomorrow. All right, that's your forecast. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Have a great night. We'll talk to you tomorrow.